Hello out there, ladies and gentlemen. We are the Junkies of Opinions. And of course, joining me as usual is the heroine of the site. He is Rick the Hammer.
Hello.
Don't you mean hero? Because otherwise you're calling him a
do you mean like a female hero, or do you mean like the drug?
No, I like the drug.
Okay.
And
he likes female heroes and drugs.
Shooting right at you there. Not better than...
Yeah.
Okay.
And I will say, and the crack, Anastasia Latham.
What? Hey, I have a prescription.
That means he can't quit you or something. I don't know.
Yep.
I think that's heroin. That's the way you can't quit.
And I am the online gaming, because people get addicted to that too. I'm the World of Warcraft of the site, Chris, aka the Mole. What that means is, I had a purpose a few years back. No one really remembers what that is, but every now and again I just show up with a new image, and everyone's like, "Oh, cool, that."
Well, at least you're getting
that's still a thing.
Yeah, at least you're getting a movie.
I am getting a movie
with orc babies.
I am, but I'm pretty sure if I was getting a movie based on me, it would pretty much be Paul Blart Mole Cop with him doing a really bad English accent. Oh, hello, movie. He then falls over. Oh, look how hilarious it is. I'm fat and I'm English. Oh. And every now and then he'll be, oh, I need to go to Skype. And Vin Diesel will show up and, let's do this, Mole.
Would it be Mole Cop, though? Wouldn't it be like something else?
It would be, but I can't remember his name. The actor's name. I just remember him.
Kevin James, I think.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Kevin James.
And actor, I'd say that's a stretch, but I'll allow it.
He acts like someone who belongs in a film, but yet he doesn't. Yeah, you have to admit,
he acts more like he belongs there than he doesn't, so we'll go with that.
Could be worse. He's not Adam Sandler. Or Rob Schneider.
He does have to work with them quite often.
You can do it.
And yep, these opinions about Kevin James being fat and just falling over, and that's all he has going for him. Sadly, that is one of our opinions here on Opinion Junkies.
Yes.
It's also a fact here on Fact Junkies.
Yes.
Well,
you and Jim need a show called Fact Junkies.
Well,
and it's him giving like a real one from Wikipedia, and then you just making one up and going fact at the end.
Yes.
And then you could say who's the who tells the facts and who's the junkie.
Yeah, but news. But we normally go news, something we've done that week, and then we go with a topic. And this week it is the awards for 2015 with the best announcement, the worst cancellation and delay, because we didn't do a best and worst of those. I remember we discussed that and we thought it was really petty to be like, best cancellation, yeah, you fuckers aren't getting your games. Or worst announcement, like, boo, we don't want those people to be happy. That just seems petty. And number 9 was the ninth one was DLC of best and worst, because I'm like, because the worst cancellation made sense. I thought cancellation's the opposite of announcement.
Mm-hmm.
So technically it's 2 awards, but it's really 3. But first up is our news. Taking us away first with the news will be Pews.
Yay! Okay. My news is super awesome. I'm just gonna, for the people in this conversation, I'm just gonna link them to something because there are some tasty visual images that go along with it. So
this can go so wrong.
There's that. So Louis Vuitton interviewed a fictional character today. And that character is Lightning from Final Fantasy 13. She is now their spokesperson and model for Louis Vuitton.
To be fair, we make fun of this, but isn't the Bible literally just someone sitting down and doing an interview with a fictional character?
Yeah, but the person who wrote them, I don't think they used the same writer of the game, or maybe they did, because her, like, in the Q&A they had, it was pretty terrible. Like, all this time, I thought style was was the one that mirrored who I was and strong and tough, but I was wrong. Now I can finally learning who I truly am. It's
Yeah,
like, what? That doesn't even make
wow.
sense.
Was the Disney logo there? Because that sounds like every Disney princess ever.
Mhm.
And she's like, I thought
Oh,
of clothes just as armor, but now it's bringing out the real me.
you know what that means. Disney's gonna buy them next.
Or I like this one. This one's super terrible. And they had her saying, I was inspired by Louis Vuitton's fashion like a bolt of lightning. Really? Really?
See,
You couldn't fucking write anything better than that, you piece of shit.
that's actually a pun, Pew, because it's being bought by Disney on the movie Bolt, starring Miley Cyrus as a little girl who has a smoking disorder. I think I assume she has a smoking disorder because instead of being like, "Hi, I'm a little girl," it's all like, "Hey, hi, Homer," from Paddy and Selma.
And I kind of want this to be like canon, like this whole interview.
It is canon.
I hope so. Here is
They haven't said it's not, so.
Here is the actual interview with the interview questions and stuff, and it's ridiculous. It's like, I hope one day we can share the same stage, different worlds can come together through fashion. Yeah.
So if she puts on clothes and becomes the real version of herself, is that like when Cloud, when he was cross-dressing?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of.
Yes.
Because she's Femme Cloud, so I would assume
Yes.
that her being the real
just-
her is just Cloud.
It's also exactly like what happened with you on the news, where you were stood behind the guy doing the news, took off all your clothes, and suddenly became pixelated.
Yeah, that's how that happens.
Yeah.
That's the origin of that story.
That's
And why I'm not allowed back in Missouri.
Yes.
And then she talks about supposedly she has a lot of catching up to do for the new game. And then she talks about how she likes to do dress up, and she thought their sister would get picked, but she didn't because they wanted someone with more like thrill. So
The
yeah,
new game? What new game with her?
I don't know. They said something LV. It's a new adventure, a new fantasy that I will enjoy from the bottom of my heart.
Okay.
Whatever that is. Maybe the clothes level her up and she's showing her new levels, and her new levels are adventures.
See, in all honesty, it's a bit dated. They should have had Yuna, just because there was a dress sphere, so bam, it just writes itself.
Yeah, see? And they didn't even capitalize on that.
Was that LV, or is her sister actually, which we didn't realize, a character from 6, and it's actually Roman numerals?
No, it's actually the letter L. Like, as in, even has, like, you know, the capital, like, letter L.
I was assuming it wasn't Roman numerals.
Maybe it stands for Louis Vuitton.
Mm-hmm.
No, that makes too much sense.
No,
She
we
goes,
can't
I
have
never
that.
played dress up. I just wear armor to stay alive.
It's because she's from the love verse.
It's like, this is everything. Like, I think if she in the game met herself in this version, she would kick her own ass.
Yes.
Like, oh, twice over.
Versus Lightning
And it's
DLC.
like, how do you, and it took me a really long time to figure out that it was the voice actor or whatever who did this and stuff. I was like, who's writing your shit? And then apparently it was just her winging it or whatever. And I was like, oh, this is awful. Like, you're a terrible person.
Mhm.
But yeah, so let's find more fictional characters to interview. Like, I want Barrett next for you know. I want Barrett next for
Choose
Louis
your
Vuitton.
magazine carefully.
Yeah.
Because that could go, as funny as it could be, like, that could go very, very wrong very fast, depending on what product and magazine you pick for him. But I want old school Barrett. Speaking on Amtrak, there ain't no getting off this train we on. We in for the long haul.
Oh, that's amazing. Or no, you know what? Who have to be in one of those Al Gore things about saving the planet? You're gonna save the planet, motherfucker! I'll shoot you with my gun.
Yeah, and I said when you said old school Barrett, I thought you meant with the cape when William Regal was his mentor.
Ha.
Boom, different reference.
But yeah, so that's a thing that's sticking around.
Fair enough.
Did you see the weird angled selfie she did? with her freaking ass sticking out in the Kotaku one, like, and with the cat ears, and like, oh, it's like, and there's one that says, "What is my neck doing?" Because she's literally turning her head, like, with that, like, I'm looking backwards kind of thing, even though, like, your head's not supposed to, like, fully turn around.
Well, do not say that. There could be owls listening.
She's a person, not an owl. What?
I know, but you said your neck's not supposed to. I said, be careful. There could be owls listening to our podcast. I don't want to discriminate.
Any sentient owls that figured out how to use the internet and a computer and click this podcast for some reason? What the fuck are you doing? Seriously, this is your first time on the internet. No offense, but like.
This isn't their first time on the internet. Their first time is taking pictures of themselves and uploading it captioned, "Oh, really?"
Wow. The cat's responding with,
really
"Oh,
owl.
really?"
But yeah, okay, fair enough. Then over to Rick for his first bit of news.
All right, so for my bit of news, found this interesting. Whether it's to compete with Best Buy or not doesn't matter, but Amazon Prime has started offering a new benefit on pre-owned video games, where if you have Prime and you pre-order a game, you'll get 20% off, and so like basically they'll charge you 20% less, and up to I think it's 2 weeks after the game is released, if you buy it, you get 20% off. And it's valid for all ones that, like, if you already have a pre-order with them and you have Prime, they'll change the price for you, which is awesome. But I think that's actually a pretty cool extra incentive for Amazon Prime.
That's pretty cool.
I saw that too. That's pretty awesome because I have Prime.
Yeah, I have Student Prime, so I was like, hey, I'll take that.
Ooh.
That does seem pretty cool. And ooh, that looks awesome. There's something on my TV in the background that looks awesome. But I'm not going to mention it because that'd be my news for the week. my news, I will have to remember it. But that does sound pretty cool, Rick. But I was going to say, my news, are you ready, Rick? Because I know I think you should like this. The rebooted Robot Wars is getting a new fighting arena in Glasgow, Scotland. The BBC is promising even more robots and science with the return of the series. The game show, which ran from 1998, that's right, before Pew, to 2004, known as After Pew, sees groups of professionals and amateurs building robots to go to war inside an arena. The contestants have to worry about house machines too. Bringing back Robot Wars to our screens is hugely exciting, said the studio's executive producer, Chris Brogan. Its return will see new and improved robots with extraordinary innovation and power with updated machines. It promises to be quite the competition. 6-hour-long episodes of Robot Wars have been announced for BBC Two. That's right, people, it's back. Robot Wars is back.
Nice.
So yeah, we go over to Canada. I wasn't sure if either one of you two liked it, but yeah.
It was pretty cool. I remember seeing it a while ago.
Nice.
I don't know what that is.
It's a show where
with robots and they war. I get that.
No, basically, people like you, well, not like you, normal people, make robots, take them onto the show, and then they make the robots fight to the death. And then there's house robots that also attack them. It's awesome.
House robots? Like, what do you mean, like a toaster?
I mean, like robots that the show itself has made.
Oh, okay. Like in-house. Okay. I mean, it sounded like you said house robots. I'm like, what's a house robot? I'm thinking like
I
the
want to
robot.
see a toaster fight.
House robot is basically thingy Hugh Laurie playing the Terminator. Boom.
Dun, 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 dun,
people will get that.
Nice.
Yeah, people out there will get that. But yeah, catch up. Which taking us first with the catch up, we'll stick to the same thing for that. And we'll go pew, pew, pew.
So catch up. I pretty much been staying up until like 2 a.m. every night playing Fallout. And oh god, I hate
that I posted. Was just for my benefit.
Okay, so yeah, I've been doing so much stupid shit with the freaking settlements. Like I got every single settlement a trade supply back to Sanctuary, so I can use my workshop anywhere. Like and just I don't have to worry about like which workshop I put whatever materials in.
Mm.
So that's really convenient. Although some places now, it's weird how like gunners will attack you instead of raiders at certain places, and you could be like, why did they attack us? Well, it's clear they attacked us because they looked at a place and it looked really weak. And it's like, oh, yeah, how do you look weak? I mean, you've got like 4 turrets there. Like, but apparently, like in some areas, if your defense isn't high enough, the gunners will just attack you on principle.
Mhm.
So I was like, oh, okay, yeah. But it's been super, super fun, and you could totally murder everybody in Covenant, and then take it as your own. But all the beds I couldn't use for like the longest time because they're owned by the dead people, and I thought they're dead. It wouldn't make them owned anymore. But it does, and you have to manually assign people to the beds to unlock them and make them not owned anymore.
Nice.
Otherwise, they'll
Because they
just
haunt them.
like it's just like they're dead. They don't fucking own any of this shit. Or all the stuff around there, you have to get new stuff, or it still counts as stealing. And the people who are like your panions that are like moral or whatever, they'll be like, this just likes this, but I'm picking up something that's in the place. If you're dead, you don't own it anymore. It's not stealing. But other than
The
that,
tomb robber mentality.
Hey, worth the
oh
British.
god. So I made like every place is all nice. I got unlocked the patio furniture. I've gotten like a bunch of workshops around like a bunch of settlements and trying to get their levels up super high. I got a special I didn't know the guy in the very beginning, the Vault Tech guy, he's a ghoul.
Nah.
And he's wearing like the same outfit, and I invited him back to Sanctuary, where he gives you special legendary level 4 items if you make him a trader.
Nice.
So, because apparently there's like a secret level you can have your first 3, but if you have special recruited vendors come there, and they can have you give you once in a while they'll have like the star legendary items or whatever. So that's pretty cool. And I have to break up a marriage in Vault 81, and then I can get special clothes.
Nice.
But it was an abusive relationship anyway, so what I'm really breaking up, well, I'm stopping the breaking up of her face. So yeah, that's super awesome, and there's just so much to do. Oh my god, there's so much everything. It's just like there goes all my time. It's so much fun.
Oh, not your time.
I made all the I made all the
So valuable. I think we just lost the cure for cancer.
fuck off. I made all the provisioners dress up in Vault 114 suits. Because I like the idea that they're all in Vault suits because I'm always in my 111. So now we're matching. In Vault 14, you get like a whole bunch of suits from them.
Why when people says I'm in my 111, I think that's a 711, but the sign's slightly faded at the top.
No, Vault 111.
I know what you mean, but it's just funnier to me imagining you were inside
Yeah.
an actual 711.
And I was making a bar for everyone. I made this whole clinic and I placed these things. I got like stuff from like rated hospitals and stuff like bioscanners and made it look like an actual proper hospital. And then I feel like I'm diversifying Sanctuary super much. I have a female ghoul doctor. Yeah.
I think my school about them.
I feel like I'm getting a lot of diversity in there, which I like. And then I've only seen one of them, but I haven't, and I don't know if this is racist or not. But I haven't seen many black ghouls in the game. But there is a black hole in one of my other towns. So that's interesting. So I feel like my town's super diverse. Now if only could have like or get the cure from spoiler. Get the cure from is it Vernon or something? The dude who makes a cure for super mutants, and I could inject it into the other super mutants, and then they'd still keep their sense or whatever, and then I could have super mutants in there.
Nice.
That'd be pretty fun.
Okay, and over to Rick for his catch-up then.
All right. For mine, game I played the last couple days, it's called Rebel Galaxy. It's on. I think came on a PC a couple months ago, October I think. But I'm playing it on the Xbox One, also on the PS4. But it's like this weird like spaceship game, like you're in space, and this sounds completely boring, so I'm aware of that. But it's very like open because you just like there is like a storyline to follow, but it's basically you start out and it's like, oh, your aunt gave you a spaceship and here you go, and then you're like, okay, and then you talk to this dude in the beginning, and then you can just kind of go out. You can and you kind of want there's several different galaxies or whatever you want to call them that you can go to, but you need to buy equipment to go to another one. But the one you start out in, you can go around. It shows like where the outposts are, and you fly around. You can kill pirates if you want, get bounties. You can go mining to make money. You can go do. There's just tons of side quests because it keeps like they're randomly generated, and get money and buy like bigger ships and better weapons and armor and stuff like that. You can basically be a pirate, and you can kill traders that are go out and trading stuff. You can like buy and sell crap to make money because like each place has its own, like what's valuable there and what's not. And it changes over time, and there's like crazy little graphs that show you and stuff. And you can there's like illegal stuff that the militia gets mad if you have because they'll scan you. They're like, hey, you have contraband. You're like, yeah, later, fuckers, and you just take off. Like you can sell slaves and shit.
I was gonna say, is this an MMO?
No, it's single player, completely single player.
Ah, nice.
Aww.
It sounds like a modern version of that game I showed you.
I know, right? It does.
I may need to get that. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's like it's weird because like if you sometimes you see it and you're like, why is this like you just look at it and because it takes a while to like travel to other places because you actually have to do it and like and go to warp and like stop yourself and not crash into planets and shit. And combat, like it takes a while to get used to all the controls in it because the game doesn't really help a lot, which in some ways is good, but like sometimes I wish there was like a section of the menu where you could like look into stuff. So it's like, okay, we're not going to hold your hand, but this information's in there. So it's like kind of rough, but yeah, it's like oddly fun. You just play it for a couple hours. You're like, oh yeah, you're like, I'm gonna go do this, and then you like wander, and then you're like, oh, there's valuables here, and you go, and you're like, oh, I'm here, I might as well mine, and then you go somewhere, and you're like, oh, huh?
That's what our site now needs for games like this, where it doesn't really tell you stuff, and you figured it out. You need to make a video explaining this to people and put it out there under the name Wikipedia.
Write that down. I want to do that. That'd be amazing. But yeah, it's like ridiculously fun for no reason. Like it doesn't look fun, but it's one of those ones where you just kind of get into it and you're just like going and you're looking. And you're like, oh right, I picked up some. I picked up some space gold, or it's called something else like gold. You can get, I think, but there's nothing. Yeah, it's not like quite silly like that. But anyway,
Oh, I wish it was. That just reminds me of that South Park episode.
Yeah, that's kind of well, it's like everything's in space, so I figured, space gold. But
Yeah.
but like you could do that. Like you could find gold, and you're like, oh man, I gotta go sell this, and you go to one place, and it's like, oh, they're not paying much for it. And you're like, well, screw that, I'm gonna hold on to it, and then you go to somewhere else, And sometimes like pirates will come by, and they're like, hey, I want all your stuff, and you're like, screw you, buddy, and you just like bombard them and like explode them, and you're like, yeah, fucker. But it's like, yeah.
Oh, I was saying that does sound like that other game where you could like take their drugs and sell their drugs if you wanted to, or turn them in, or free the slaves, or sell the slaves.
It does sound a lot like, in some ways a lot like that game. It's just the combat's more actiony. But yeah, it does almost sound like it was because when did that came out? In like what, like late '80s or something? Early 90s? Like that was ancient. It sounded awesome though.
Yeah.
And it does kind of remind me of what I pictured that game to be like if they remade it now. But yeah, it's a bit rough, and I'm not a fan of the music. It's like it's kind of one thing that bothers me is there's some settings, not as many as I'd like, because it's like it thinks my TV is like a little bit bigger than it is, which bugs the shit out of me because it cuts off some of the stuff. And there's no like resize option. I'm like, what? But the weird thing is like there isn't one because the way the save files work, it's like you just get one save, which I don't like, but it's not you can't really screw yourself, so it's not a big deal. but it's just kind of like since the settings are specific to that save file, there's no overall one. So when it boots up, it's like really loud. Like the music starts on like 30-something%, but it's like really loud. And then like I go into the game and then it's like, oh yeah, that's right, and then it gets quieter. But it like the music's kind of westerny, so it's trying to evoke like that Firefly feeling, but it's not really Firefly, because it's, I guess in some ways of like just being like a giant lawless galaxy playground, kind of, but there's no like real characters or banter or anything. But
it is like Firefly because right now, while it's a thing, not many people have played it, but if they take it down from the store, suddenly everyone will love it. I don't know if that's mean because I actually really did like Firefly. I just find it funny with how many people.
I love Firefly too.
When it was cancelled, how many people were like, that's the best show ever. I'm like, no, why didn't it get the numbers?
Because those people have Nielsen boxes. I don't know.
It's because apparently it's because the network moved it around every other week. But
they couldn't understand the story, so they're like, what? But then when it was all put together the right way, they're like, oh, this is amazing.
Yeah, but that does sound cool. You said it's called Rebel Galaxies. Is it got a number after?
What now? Sorry.
No, I said, did they have a number after? Like.
Oh no, it's just Rebel Galaxy.
Thank you. Adding that to my recommendations.
I want to say it came out yesterday. I don't remember, but
nice. Yeah, that's right. In this same topic, Wikipedia and recommendations. They're now a thing.
You have to write these down.
Don't forget the what was it? Fact Junkies.
Oh, Fact Junkies.
Even if it's like a minute-long video, just Jim reading something and then you saying so. Even if it's just like. That'd be amazing. That'd just be a great minute of just him reading one thing and then you making one thing up, and then that's.
I need to go before him and then read. I meant to say the fact. Reading Wikipedia gives you AIDS. Fact.
That'd be a great one to do.
Just him be like, I no. But no, like I said, that does sound pretty cool. I got that on my list.
Nice.
My catch up this week. I'm going to keep it short. It's a little thing. I checked and Pew said it counted. I'd sent the message to Rick about this, but it's the messing around with the Xbox One I had to go through. Because I mentioned that a while back since I had it. I mentioned to Rick how loud it was at some point or another. I'm like, was yours that loud?
Okay.
And you were like, no. And then this now it's getting louder and louder. It's drowned out my TV before, and I'm like,
wow.
This is a problem. I literally say to the guy, here you go, and I go, listen. I turn it on. He listens to it. I go, and listen, and you hear as it shuts down. It's still making the noise until you turn it off at the wall. And the guy on the Xbox part told me, yeah, some systems of theirs shipped, and they're aware it's a widespread issue with a defaulty coil near the fan. Which will eventually lead to them overheating. You need to send them in fast, and they'll just send you a replacement. Luckily, with the cloud system, the saves will be backed up for you, I believe.
Yeah.
And yeah, I risked burning down the console a bit more by turning back on and putting all the games I wanted onto my external hard drive, and then unplugging them and being like, done.
Nice.
Because I'm like, fuck. And he's like, are you sure you want to? He even said to me, you don't have to do it. You could just download them again. I'm like, this will be much faster than wasting all my internet downloading big gigabytes of games. No, I'm not doing that again. And I'm going to be sending that in, which it was a shame because, like I said, that really annoyed me. That did because it's just like, that's one of the things to the console. Like, it's a and they said it's a widespread issue. I was like, wait, but they haven't sold that many consoles. How have I not heard about this issue that big? But it's big enough for them to instantly identify it by the noise. I'm like, okay, I don't know what the hell was going on with that, but it like I said, it just annoyed me. But I was just mentioning that in case anyone here was having issues with their Xbox where it was making loud noises, louder than what you think it should do. You might want to contact them because, from what they said with the coil, the end result is basically your fan is going to go in your Xbox a lot faster than normal, if that makes sense. So it could be a health and safety issue as well as a console issue. I mean, we could break your console. I mean.
Gotcha.
But I wasn't sure if any of you guys had that or
I
had the
have not,
noise.
no. Not on the Xbox One. My old PS3 is the jet engine, but I haven't had
Yeah. Yeah, well, ironically, with the jet engine, with that one, I was sad when I found out it was supposed to do that on some of theirs. So I was like, oh, does that mean it was working? When like the big fat PS3 was like,
Yeah, that's my one.
I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, that was loud.
the Slim is better, still kind of loud. PS4 is quiet as hell, but
Super Slim was my Super Slim was really quiet.
yeah, I don't have a Super Slim. I just have a
Yeah.
Slim in the old
I only had
60 gig one.
I only had a Super Slim because ironically, with my PS3, because I'd had the fat since launch. Right, well, not launch, but just after launch, you know, when they brought in the second wave of consoles cheaper with the chip gone, I got them and I had it for so long, kept using it that this is due to what you call it, like human use. I wore out the lens because I'd been using it too much, and I'm like, okay, so I had to buy another one. I was like, oh, with the Super Slim, and I spent the longest time just going to people. Hang on, I'm going to put the game in my PS3. You are? Yeah. Wait a minute. I'm not going to turn it on. Watch this. And press a button on the front. Lid opens up. And they're like, what the hell? That's weird. I'm like, I know. You see what I did there? It's like, oh, you're such it's like, oh, it turns you into such a douche, but it's worth it. It's like when you have those beepers on your car and you can go click. And you'll always do it far away from the car, too, just so people see you go click. So they know you've got one. You've seen people do that. I'm assuming Rick's probably done that himself. Assuming Rick has one in his car, where you go click and it just unlocks or locks it.
Yeah, not douche style, but yeah. I usually have to do it at like the top of my stairs because like the kids will just run down. So I have to, if I don't unlock it quickly, they'll go over and pull the handle and go, "It's not unlocked," and I'm like, "I know, I'm trying to lock the door. Calm down." So I usually go out and then have to try and hit it because it's weird. Sometimes the first press doesn't always work, so I have to push it like 3 times to make sure it unlocks everything before they go. Also, because sometimes if I time it really bad, they're pulling up the handle while I'm doing it, and ooh, you just want to throw them when they do that.
Yeah, that annoys me because I've seen people do that with cars.
Yeah.
When they do that, it makes the car unlock every door, but that one.
Yeah.
Don't do that. You've screwed everyone. But yeah, it's just always amusing me because I've seen people with those clickers where they have to do it, where they step away from like in the car park, they'll be like a good couple of feet away from their car, but within distance that people will see them do it and go click click, like arm out, like click click click, like they're using a phaser or something from Star Trek. Click click, and you're like, I hate you. But. So now it's on to the awards.
Yay.
Bum bum bum. Pew Giant. I don't know why.
Yes. No, that needs to be
really quiet. But yeah, basically, the first award is the best announcement of the year. And taking us away first will be. Pew, are you there?
I'm here.
Pew.
Alright. So, biggest announcement was I gave it the same thing I said last time, which was the biggest surprise, which was the unveiling of Final Fantasy VII Remake. So that's gonna be freaking cool. Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, okay. Just making sure you can hear me.
Yes.
I can hear you.
Yeah, so it was the biggest surprise and the biggest announcement ever, so.
The biggest announcement ever.
Forget
we're going to the moon.
Oh, fuck the moon. What has the moon done for me lately?
The tide? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not a surfer. Who gives a shit about the tide?
Helps all gravity and life as we know it on Earth. But besides...
You know what? Sometimes I think it should end, you know?
Yeah. It's Rick for his announcement.
All right. For me, it was the on E3 when they announced the backwards compatibility on the Xbox One. Because I was like, that's really cool. Because, yeah, they spent so long just being like, nope, not going to happen. Nope, not going to happen. And then just be like, haha, surprise. I was like, what?
Nice. Yeah, and that was pretty cool. And I have gotten some use out of that since they announced it. Like I mentioned, like a couple of days ago, or actually about a week ago, I was at my local supermarket, and since they do this with like old stuff, like they have old CDs and old DVDs and old games by the till, and you can get them reduced after you spend so much on your shopping. I was getting my week's worth of shopping, and they had a load of Xbox One. Oh, it's Xbox One. I had a load of free Xbox 360 ones there. And yes, I will admit again, like a douche, totally pulled out my Windows phone at the till and was like, "Oh, let me just check. Oh, this one's on backwards compatibility. Cool. I'm gonna get this for my Xbox One." As I handed it to the woman. Like, yeah, you know I've got an Xbox One. I don't know why. But I don't know why, but I wanted to double check 'cause I didn't want to buy it.
Yeah.
It's really cheap. I just wanted to check, but I realized afterwards, oh, I must have seemed like such a dick of being like, yes, cashier, let me just check with my technology. Oh, yes, I will have this then. It works on the new thing. Do you have the new one? No, because you're just a cashier. Why don't you just
Wow.
That's what I'm thinking she is. That's what I'm thinking she thought in her head.
Of course she was.
She might not have, but it's one of those things. In hindsight, you're always like, "Wait, did I come across as a massive dick by doing that?"
No, you came across a massive douche.
Yeah, because I just wanted to double check. Like, I pulled it out and just wanted to check. I was like, "Yes, Lego Star Wars, the complete Saga edition." And I instantly picked that up. But yeah, and there's been some good uses out of that. My announcement, which the first part was 2014, but I've given it to all the news for 2015 of Street Fighter V. Exclusive to the PS4 and I believe PC. We had all the characters being announced. It's like fuck yeah, fuck yeah, fuck yeah, fuck yeah. Oh yes, you got yes, cool. Then they did a release date. They've announced the release date of early this year technically, and it's this year, and they've announced all this stuff. They had beta news and stuff. I'm like, fuck yeah! It's just I've been like, that's great. It's like basically it's all the shit most games do for like 3 years before they come out. In like a year, so it's like, oh, it's all building till it comes out. It's like, yay! It's a game advertisement done right, I feel, because I know we've mentioned that on this before now, but how annoying is that when you get cool demos and trailers and betas and stuff like 2 years before the game comes out or something, and then yeah, that's like nothing. By the time the game comes out, you're like, you almost killed all the hype for it.
You know what else is a hype killer in my opinion? When they announce that they're going to announce the release date.
There is
like
that.
when they have a thing and they're just like this, and you're like, oh, and it's like, we will announce a release date for this in 2 weeks, and you're like, just do it in 2 weeks. An announcement for an announcement is silly.
Yeah, I always hate them with, we have something to announce.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, so you're announcing you have something to announce? What are you doing this?
Yeah, if it's like, they're saying like, oh, we're announcing this game and the release date will come later, that's fine. But they have ones where they know we know it's coming, and they're just like, an announcement's happening in 2 weeks. We'll tell you when it's coming out, and you're like, just.
Yeah. Or I always hate the other ones too, where they're the flip side that like, oh, tune in at this convention or something like that and check out this. We have massive news for you, and you go there, and it's like. That game you knew about last month is still coming.
A game is still coming. Like it hasn't been cancelled news.
Yeah. Like, oh my god, that's just a completely unsatisfying ending. That's like, oh, it's like Stephen King wrote the hype. Boom, Stephen King reference.
That's like games that are taking forever, and it's like, it's still a thing.
Yep. But speaking of things that are still a thing and taking forever, that segues into our next category of cancellation, or it may not be a thing because you may also have your cancellation, obviously, but also it's also been delayed. So cancellation or delayed, whichever one you want. taking us away first with their award will be Richter.
All right. For me, probably most disappointing delay was Mighty Number 9, because I don't know exactly how the game's going to go. I am looking forward to playing it, but I think it was like 2 weeks before it was supposed to come out. They're like, "Oh yeah, by the way, that's been delayed for like 4 more months," and it's like, really, you didn't know before that? And it was also, and it's kind of mixed up with this, so maybe this is a little unfair to it, but I don't care. But like that hadn't even come out yet, and they already had put up another Kickstarter for another game. People are like, "Oh, okay, that's cool, but can we have the, like the successful one you had? Can that come out first so we, and like that one didn't get funded
If
from
if I buy
people." Yeah.
if I buy Mighty Number 9 on Xbox One, will I get Mighty Numbers 1 to 8 on backwards compatibility?
Yes. But like he had that other Kickstarter and like it didn't succeed, probably because there were a lot of people that are like, well, wait, where's the first game you made? Like you just pushed that back like around the time this is coming out. Like can't we get that one first so we can see how good you did, and then because I imagine that like if that had come out on time or something, or like if he had done the other one afterwards, if people liked it, it would have been funded. But I don't know, just there's some shady stuff with that one going on, and then like 2 weeks before, he's like, "Oh yeah, that's good, coming out in like a couple months," and I was like, "Really?" Because it looked pretty finished, and there was like no new. It felt like they could have said something earlier. It just was like I don't know. That whole thing was kind of sketchy, and it's like I'm kind of worried now, but I did want to play it, but I don't know.
I could see that. And over to Pew for her cancellation or delayed.
My cancellation, or that's when I went with the cancellation, was for the Black Glove game, the one that was made by the ex-BioShock developer.
Ah.
Yeah. After an unsuccessful Kickstarter where they wanted like 550,000 or something, and they got like 250 something thousand. They couldn't continue to pay people or whatever, and so it got buried. I do like they said that should they have the money again, they may pick it up at some point, in the future, or at least use that to make another game or something.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like I guess encouraging, sort of, like it's still a good idea. So, but yeah, that was kind of sad that it didn't make it out.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you like the BioWare games.
Oh, BioShock.
Oh, sorry, BioShock. My bad. I
You
knew.
like
BioShockware.
I knew it was the ones I don't. I knew it was the ones I don't really play, which is BioShock. I do like BioWare. My bad. But
Diesel.
Yeah, but I know other people like those, so that should be cool. My one, cancellation or delayed, and this is for more. I don't know if it would be cool or not, but it's for slightly more personal reasons, because it wasn't even that much of a delay. Warner Brothers delayed the release of Lego Marvel's Avengers until, and it comes out 29th of this month. It was planned for an autumn release. That annoyed me. I don't know about anyone else who was planning to pick that up or anything like that, but that just really irritated me. I mean, I know, yeah, they've announced some stuff for it recently coming out, like the new DLCs for Captain America Civil War and Ant-Man for the PS4, but that doesn't really make up for this, because at the end of the day, there was no real kids game besides Toys to Kid Games ones were available at Christmas, and not everyone wants to spend £100 per game for a child. And if they've already got some of the other ones, it's ridiculous buying them all free per child. If you got multiple, that's stupid. But it's a case of I was like, okay, I wanted to get like my little nephew Lego Avengers for Christmas, because I was like, he'd love that because he likes the Avengers movies and the Marvel Cinematic Universe and stuff, and he likes the Lego games, so it's a perfect match. No, they delayed it till the month after Christmas. I'm like, fuck you, why would you do that? That's one of the few times I'd be okay with the game being broken and having to wait a month for a patch. Because I'm guessing it wouldn't be so broken that you wouldn't be able to play it that a month. I'm guessing it couldn't be that broken, I'm guessing.
I would have to agree, but I don't know for sure.
That's pretty terrible.
Because part of the reason why is they announced they delayed it till January. They didn't say why when they announced, okay, it's coming out in January, when they announced the PS4 exclusive DLCs. And I'm like, did you delay it to make DLCs? If for Ant-Man and Civil War? Because if so, they're DLCs. Make them afterwards. That's what DLCs are for.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That was mine anyway.
Can you imagine like getting a Christmas present and it says and you get a little card that says delayed till like January something? It's so horrible.
Yep. And over to Pew now for the next award, which is DLC, which is downloadable content.
Are we doing best and worst on this, or are we just doing the best? Because like
Best and worst. So go with your worst first.
okay, the worst first is on my friend's Metal Gear Solid. He told me about how he paid for the insurance to not get raided in Metal Gear Solid 5 because people could raid your base and steal your shit. But you can buy insurance to cover the cost of anything that gets stolen and you gets replaced.
Yep, I'd seen that.
Yeah, and I was like, what the fuck? I just couldn't believe it. And it was like, and I told him, why don't you just play offline? But apparently all your stuff is stored online. So you can't like play online or you lose all your shit.
Well, yeah, but that's because it's called Metal Gear Online, Pew. The offline mode is just the Metal Gear story mode.
Yeah, but I was just like, wow, like, can you imagine that buying video game insurance like in the game? Like, what the fuck is this? Like, is there gonna be like, hi, like, hello, Metal Gear Solid base dude, I'm your friendly insurance salesman. How's it going? You have time? Is this dinner time for you? You know? Like, what the fuck is this shit? And I thought that was the biggest waste of money ever. I mean, he obviously enjoyed it, whatever.
I like to just think that they also have developers in the game who come round and just start to break all your stuff. If you need to,
Where's the money, bitch? Where's that fucking money?
I can see that.
With, do you have your protection? It'd be a shame if this were locked off. Oh, I noticed you have 2 lovely children. And you currently are in the Western or Eastern, whatever, Eastern time, which is what Jim and Pew are. Eastern time zone in America. Cool. And according to this, your local school opens at this time, so I know you'll be busy during these hours. Go ahead, don't pay for your insurance. It'd be a shame if something happened. It'd be like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah. So
That's
I
what
just
like
imagining.
like they're running a protection racket.
I just imagine like it's dinner time, but Snake or whatever goes to eat, and then then the doorbell rings and you have to hear this whole freaking sales pitch,
Yep.
and he's like every fucking day.
No. Yep. I will say I will say just for the record, I'm not sure if I counted.
Yeah. Did I have to own it specifically?
I believe you had to have played it.
I played the game, yeah, and we took advantage of
Okay, because if you played it, because you were saying your friend told you about it, so therefore you hadn't
told me
seen
about the DLC when we were playing it.
it. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it was technically in there in the same game that we were playing.
Yeah, I was just making sure because I was just saying because I know that was the rule. But
I don't own it for sure, but I was playing with him.
or I believe you had to own the game that the DLC was for, because I understand if it's worse DLC, you may avoid buying it altogether if it's for the game you're actually playing.
I thought it was DLC you experienced.
I do not see the word experiencer.
Well, I didn't say worst DLC purchased. I mean, it just said worst DLC. I think it's fine.
Yeah, which means the quality of the DLC, not the experience. Well, the worst DLC experience to me would be any time I have to go buy Skylanders or Disney Infinity or Leopard Dimensions figures as a grown-ass adult, and there's no child with me, and the shop assistant just looks at you with a look of pity and remorse. That'd be my worst experience.
Okay, the worst DLC counting a Nintendo 3DS update, so they can explain how microtransactions are. That's not worth the memory.
But fair enough. Then over to Rick for his worst DLC.
Okay. Probably this also counts games that are downloadable, correct?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Because I have one for either if it doesn't. But anyway, so for me, I went with a game that you could download for worst, and it was called Red Goddess Inner World.
Oh, I thought it was my Grim Fandango.
No, I like that game. It had some stuff, but that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And no, but this one it was like, it was like kind of like Metroidvania style, which is cool because I like that. And like the game had some good stuff, but it was also like kind of buggy and had some just really aggravating stuff. It didn't. It was definitely not polished enough, and it was. So I think that would be it, unfortunately, because it like just after seeing some stuff and I was like, this looks pretty cool, and trying it out, I'm like, this is kind of cool, and then it just kept getting worse, and I'm like, oh, this is not as good. That, and of course, like I said, because at one point I had a bug where I couldn't, like the map wouldn't load, so like you would drop down to go to this thing, and it would you just fall. There's like no map there. And I could actually pull up the map screen and see where I was, and I just kept falling and would go like loop through, but it wouldn't move my view, and I wouldn't hit anything and stop, even though there was stuff in the way. Like, yeah, I was like, okay then, like that's kind of not good.
Nice. And yeah, like if you wanted to, you could do you could give your other one as well, because you can always go with a tie.
Oh, okay. The other one that's actual like downloadable content would be the one of the DLC packs for Senran Kagura 2. There's like a shmup DLC or shoot 'em up, and I love those games. So it's like, oh man, bouncy ninja girls plus shmup. Okay, let's do this. And it was like $5, and I bought it, and it was like okay, but the problems I had with it was, one is your graphic or whatever is a little too big. Like one of the things with the shmups is to make a good one, you have to keep in mind bullet size, like enemy bullet size and pattern, and the size of your character. Because if you want it really exact, you want to get that like Ikaruga kind of thing going on. You need like a smaller hitbox or whatever. But you were kind of big, and like that would be okay. But then like none of the characters had played differently. Like they didn't have different shot patterns or anything to differentiate them. It was just like a different graphic, and I'm like, oh, that's super disappointing. Like I don't think it would have been that hard, especially with how all the characters, the ones you can play as, have different personalities and attacks in the game. It'd be easy to really do anything different. Like the one girl that uses she uses like ice. Like just make her shots ice and just a different pattern from the other one. Like it's not. It felt like it was super lazy. Like they just were like, oh, all right, we put it side scrolling, we just have giant bosses that you fight, and there you go. And it's like, that doesn't just make it good. You still have to put effort into it, and just that one was super disappointing.
You still have to put effort into it? No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No, that's not true. That's impossible.
Search your library. You know it to be true.
Let it flow, let it flow.
Can't just make it generic. It needs to actually have effort into it. Now I just want to see Cliffy B's head on Luke Skywalker's body. No, that's not true. That would be amazing. No, I could see that. I also have a joint, and ironically, I had one of each categories. But one I feel worse about putting on the list.
I can see that.
If that makes sense. But I feel worse for not because I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll explain why now. In 2014, a little game came out. According to Wikipedia, it was known... No, okay, I'm not going to do that. Basically, who remembers Basement Crawl?
I remember you talking about it.
Now, what happens if you remove the acement and the C? You get Brawl, and it's basically the same thing. Made by different people, but the same thing. They gave you this for free on the PS4 if you had already bought Basement Crawl. That's the reason I feel bad about putting this, because I paid nothing for it,
Mm.
and I feel ripped off.
I've felt like that.
Because I'm like, it's free. It's free. With how bad this is, you should be paying me. You should be paying me for basically testing your piece of shit. Because my time. I mean,
I used to do that.
because yeah, if we'd been in, if this has been like a job or something like that, I could have been paid, like, I don't know, whatever minimum wages, let's call it like £6. I could have been paid £6 an hour for each hour I spent on this game. That still would have been better than nothing. For the fact this was horrible, horrible experience. The frame rate's terrible. The controls are terrible. The levels look shit. The camera, while trying to be Bomberman, they added puzzles. Then they tried to make it single player focus. It was not good. This was pretty terrible. But yes, I wasn't sure if either one of you two had seen Brawl.
No, I remember you talking a bit about it, but I didn't.
Haven't seen.
And the other one on my list, which I don't feel as bad about putting, but I do like this more, the WWE Moves Pack.
Uh-oh. Uh-huh.
Because they're like, yeah, 30 new moves, they're all awesome. I click on them, like, these aren't that cool. There was more better moves last time they did this, and some of these moves, I'm like, did you just leave this move off for the sole purpose of fleshing out move pack a little bit? And it's like, all the ones that looked slightly cool in the pack felt left off. And the other moves just seemed really like, okay, that's cool having it in the game, I guess. I mean, I'm not hating having it in there, but is this really worth a pack? I mean, I would rather you just make move sets for each one of those shitty, or shit quality to me, moves, and put them on like a plumber or an electrician and stuff, and gave us a mode where we could throw them off scaffolding to unlock the move sets.
Please make that DLC. Beat up the mall security guards and stuff. That was like the least wrestling game ever, but that was so amazing. Like power bombing a dude in a motorcycle helmet onto a SUV hood was like so stupid fun.
I believe Crush Hour was the least wrestling game ever. Oh wait, but you said game, which are meant to be stuff to be played, and that should be not played. I take it back. No, okay, yeah, that was it. I'm kidding with the DLC. I'm not. I didn't expect them to do that before people out there thinking that's why he's doing it. I just didn't like what was in the content. Like Rick said, throwing people off the scaffolding on like WrestleMania 18 was really fucking fun. It's like, and you're on the scaffold. It's like, why am I doing this? And it's like, oh god, every single worker WWE has is coming after me. Yeah, I'm just gonna throw you off a scaffold. It doesn't matter. I just paralyzed you for life. It's okay because I may get a contract.
Yes.
That's awesome. But yeah,
I just remember there was this stage where, like, it was, at least for me, it was against Edge, and it was like, who can throw off more people off the top of this? And I'm like, sure, whatever. This seems legal.
yeah, yes it does. And I'm just like, part of me was like, you know what? I'm going to allow this because how many times have I had security guys all flooding the ring and just been thrown out like, like, you know, like Brock Lesnar's one of the characters in one of Rick's Warrior games. Counter at the bottom.
I would accept that.
I want a Brock Lesnar counter now. How about you?
Yes.
And I just have him do suplexes to each security officer, like 1, 2, 3. When he does like an F5 and it swings down and knocks multiple at once, just see it go.
That would be amazing.
The beast counter.
Yes.
The next on DLC is the best DLC of the year, and we shall go with Rick for this one first.
All right. So for my best, I went with the stuff you could download for Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, because not only was it free, but they had lots of like other Capcom themed like costumes and Capcom one themes too, but they had like character costumes. Like there was Sonic, Mario, and Luigi. You could get Mega Man. You could get Samus. You could get a Link costume for yourself. In theory, Samus costume for you too. You could get like a little Dante, like cool Dante for the cat and stuff. Like I just thought that was really cool. That it's like the kind of it's fan stuff. Nobody cares. It's not. There's. I imagine there's probably some idiot somewhere that's like, oh, you can't mix these things. This isn't the Monster Hunter universe. And then everyone else is like, that's cool. It's just one of those things. It's just fun. Like no one's gonna be like, oh, this is part of the story now. These belong together. No, nobody cares.
Where do you get the Samus stuff? I was gonna ask because I had that and I downloaded all the DLC. I can't find any of it. I thought some of it was like free stuff for me, or do you have to build all of it?
Yeah, you have to go get special parts to do them. And most of them are in fairly hard missions. That's my only problem with them, is I hate that they make you
special parts.
But like they always seem like they're not like they could be nicer about it, but they're like cool to have and they at least gave you those ones. But yeah, sometimes it's like I want to say I think I got Dante's sword. I can't remember. But yeah, some of them it's like, go fight these three monsters at the same time in the arena. And you're like, what? Why would you? That'd be my only complaint, is that they like try to bar it off of some people. Like, no, you just play it and you just want to dress up like, this character. Why would you do that? But it's free and you can do it multiplayer. So there's probably people that would be willing to, do it as long as you're not a liability, that people would do it and you could go and do it with them. But
you can't see, but I'm looking at you with Puss in Boots eyes. Please.
Why? Which one did you want? I know you want the Sonic one. I should have done that one.
Midway through the sentence, and I was like, I want the Sonic. I know you want the Sonic stuff.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we'll be like that.
I want to say, because I think I've done that one, because I know that my other friend wanted the Sonic stuff. We tried the Zelda one, the Legend of Zelda one. I think we might be able to do it now, but like when we first tried it, we were totally.
Well, yeah, that's because of me.
There you go. But no, I think he'd kill you in one hit, where us it was almost 2 hits.
Yeah, but while he's laughing at how fast he killed me, he's distracted.
There you go. But it's not even like the problem is it's like not even armor I want to use. Like I don't think the like Link stuff is even that good. It's just like you want it because you're like, yeah, I have the Master Sword. Like you're not really gonna use it. It's not that good, but
it should be the best weapon. It should be the best sword. It's the Master Sword.
Should be, but it's not.
Because my strategy in Monster Hunter is, while I may not be the best in combat, it's sort of like Stevie Wonder in the army. He's not the best, but he's the guy you're just going to say, walk forward and send through the minefield ahead of you. Not sure what to mean.
Slightly.
It's easy, don't worry about it.
Yeah, but okay, then over to Pew for her best DLC of the year. Of the year 2015.
I like the Get Out of Hell DLC.
Yes.
That was super fun. I like playing as Kenzie, but I also love freaking. I like it when he's using the freaking wings with guns on them. Those are fucking cool.
I like Get Out of Hell.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
It was pretty amazing. I was just super. I like all the Saints Row games, and this was no different. It was super it is different, but I'm just saying it's no different in the sense it's still just as much fun. So yeah, it was just fucking awesome, actiony, just random crazy shit.
Yeah, I like that. I also ironically my favorite for the one of my favorites also comes from the Saints Row, I believe, because technically it got re-released in 2015.
Ooh.
I believe it got re-released.
Is it the Santa Claus one, maybe?
Yeah. I thought like the PS4 one got re-released, but yeah, I like Get Out of Hell. That musical is really fun.
It is fun.
But my DLC of 2015, and I just need to double check because I believe one of these was definitely. I just realized, wait, was one of these actually both of these 2015? Uh-oh. I may have messed up, Rick.
No.
I may have put one from this year.
Fact.
Oh,
I don't know.
2015. Okay, it counts. I only got it this year, but it was like right at the end of the year, I believe, for us anyway. But okay. My best one, well, actually, I've only got one on the list. Like I said, I was considering giving it to that Saint Save Christmas, but I wasn't. But then this came out. Dragon Ball Z Super Butoden 2. It's free if you buy Extreme Butoden, and like Rick said, free is always good. Unlike the free with Brawl, I don't feel like they owe me anything. Yeah, it's Japanese only. It's Japanese only, and it has. God, I don't even remember how many. It's like a handful of characters, like 5 characters, if that. It's, you know what I mean? It's not that many characters, but it's really fucking fun.
Right.
Like, I can actually do the James thing if I wanted to right now, and I can go to Wikipedia. May Jim rest in peace. According to Wikipedia, the playable characters are, and you can count with us, Rick and Pew. Super Saiyan 2
Okay.
Gohan.
1,
Perfect Cell.
2,
Super Saiyan Vegeta. Or Super
3.
Saiyan. Yeah, Super Saiyan Vegeta. So that's 3. Cell Jr.
4,
Super Saiyan Future Trunks.
5,
Zangia.
6,
Piccolo.
7,
Bojack.
8,
And that's it. And then you have 2 secret characters of Goku and Broly.
9 times.
Yeah. So it's like 7 characters or 8 characters and then 2 bonus characters. So yeah. It's like, really? That's not. And Goku is a bonus character, Rick. But I'm like, I don't care. I love the Budokan games. I've played them in the past because a friend of mine had the Japanese cartridge, and they're actually really fucking fun. I really do like those games. And yeah, like I said, I've got the Japanese version, but oh well. All I need to know is what the controls are and punch stuff. I know the story of Dragon Ball, and if it's actually an exclusive story, there's guides online that will convert the story to me. So, it was something I really liked, and that was on the 3DS.
Oh.
Nice.
That's right, 3DS. I just got 2 best DLCs this year from us. I never thought that'd happen. Mainly because wasn't it only this year when they brought in DLC on the 3DS? This year or last?
Might have been last year. I'm trying to remember.
I think it was last around Smash Brothers.
Might as well.
Could be, yeah.
But I was just like, I didn't think. I honestly, I don't mean anything bad to the console. I just honestly didn't think it'd get 2, and I was like, I like that. And when I heard Rick with Monsters, I was like, yay! It's got 2. But I was your host of this one, Chris aka the Model. Joining me was, of course, Rick and Pew.
Hello.
Yay.
This was our opinions. So your junkies have got your fix until next week. And next week will be the end of our award show. Peace.